Not the start I was hoping for 2025 as we lose our lock of the night play for UFC Vegas 101 in the form of Jose Johnson as he ends up getting submitted by Felipe Bunes in the first round of their matchup. I was bummed about that one, right? That's an event where I went 11-3 on predictions, yet the one of the three was my lock of the night play. Very, very bummed that ended up happening there. But we take it on the chin. Our lock of the night for LFA ended up coming up short as well, and I was unable to see that fight because they did not broadcast it as it was a post-lim, so I'm not sure how that ended up losing. I know he lost by finish, but I would love to see how that would have happened, as I would have expected him to go out there and ragdoll his opponent, but that did not end up happening either. So we go 0-2 to start the year for minus 10 units, minus 100% ROI. Let's see if we can get back on the horse here this weekend with another lock of the night play. Just the UFC this weekend. No other regional shows that I'm covering for you guys. So let's get back and dig out of this hole that we put ourselves in. 3 lock of the night candidates coming at you right here. Again, I don't bet all 3. There's only one that's going to be the official lock of the night plan. Just because they're listed here doesn't mean that they should be the lock of the night play. These are just 3 candidates that I'm throwing at your way. You can either drop a comment below and try to guess which of the 3 I ended up going with, or check out the Lock of the Night Patreon page where those guys already know who the Lock of the Night play is, and they hopefully are able to cash it with me this weekend. All right, let's get right into it. First candidate up is going to be Carol Hossa, coming in at minus 250 as she goes up against Eileen Perez. Now, obviously, Carol Hossa been very up and down over the last 6 fights, 3-3, but from a stylistic and technical striking approach, I think she is far superior to Eileen Perez. As long as we see the urgency from Carol Hossa, which has kind of lacked in some of her losses, she should be able to keep this fight upright, butcher the lead leg of Eileen Perez, and touch her up with combinations on the feet, and I think that will allow this to look very dominant in her favor. Perez is all about grappling, but I don't think she has the ability to control somebody like Hossa, who's the much better fighter overall here. So I'm going to go with Carol Hossa as the first lock of the night candidate at minus 250. The second lock of the night candidate is going to be Grant Dawson, coming in at minus 255 as he goes up against 40-year-old Diego Ferreira. Obviously, Ferreira has pulled off a few upsets recently, but he's going up against a very aggressive, determined, and hungry Grant Dawson, who had probably the best performance of his career last time around, as he absolutely butchered and finished Rafa Garcia, finishing him on the ground in the second round. We know Dawson is a tremendous grappler, great control, and does a good job in terms of finding those finishes when he needs to. And I think he's going to put Diego Ferreira through the ringer and eventually find that finish in the second or third round. Ferreira has pulled off some upsets, like I said, but I don't think he's ready for a guy like Grant Dawson. The third and final lock of the night candidate is going to be in the Coleman event, and I think we hear and knew Umar Nurmagomedov, bantamweight champion of the world. I think that he'll have the perfect kryptonite to Merab's game, who is all action and all activity. I think Umar will be able to make him pay for the mistakes that he makes in the striking realm. I think he'll be able to scramble just as well as Merab. I think he'll be able to stay out of those bad spots, and when they're in the striking realm or in a clinch position, I think Umar will be the one landing the more devastating blows that will end up leading to him winning this fight on the scorecards. He is much better overall, and I think he has exactly what it takes to deal with that weird Merab pressure, pace, and style, and I think that will lead to a Nurmagomedov win by decision. As long as he wins straight up, he cashes as a potential lock of the night play here. Again, all chalk all over the board here, but again, the hope is to keep the hit rate high so we can profit at the end of the year, just like we did over the last 2 years. Not as much profit as I would have wanted, but we profited nonetheless. Let's see if we can get to it again. Only one of these will be the lock of the night play. The MMA LOTN Patreon folks know who it is. Find out yourself as well. Check the link in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the chalk or not segment, as well as our quick picks as well. See you guys then. Peace.